subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Oh, we got Debbie, the Democrat, in the building. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, Debbie, don't come in here saying the same Nazi nonsense, because you've already played that and it's played out. Do you have any new material, beloved? Come on now.
Nah, I'm doubling down on the Nazi shit, man. This is wild.
What?
This is wild.
What?
This is so extra wild. Like, hold up a second. Okay. So
Debbie,
basically,
are you in there eating this time of night? Are you in there finishing off some?
you
Lord Jesus, Debbie.
what? I made some meatloaf. It
Put
was
the
really damn
plate,
good. I'm a good cook.
Debbie, your back is already big enough. Put the plate down, dear. Damn.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the last.
Go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
If you had this meatloaf, you'd be eating it too. It's delicious. I don't know if you're a vegetarian or not, but I made some good, really good meatloaf. Anyway,
Go ahead. Lord.
I'm hungry. So,
Help this.
okay. I'm doubling down on the Nazi thing. Extra doubling down on the Nazi thing. So at this point, all the gloves are off. Trump is completely in for Putin. Whatever Putin wants, Putin gets. He don't care. I mean, it's just whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And it's wild. And it's just, I cannot believe how we did not see all of this before. Like, I cannot believe how everything that's on Putin's playlist for America we're just doing right now. And Trump's like just giving them the keys to the kingdom. Elon Musk wants to walk into the treasury, he gets it. Putin wants whatever the hell he wants from Ukraine, he gets it. And all of this stuff is wrapped up in all this other crap that people keep talking about that divides us. The whole thing about immigrants, the whole thing about reparations. It's all a bunch of Nazi bullshit to keep us from seeing that they're robbing us blind. And it's just wild to me that y'all like get up.
Reparations is Nazi BS? How so, sweetie? What?
No, I'm just saying, no. We as Black people, we need reparations. But tying this shit to the Republican Party and all this other stuff, it's a mind. Like, this is not.
But the Democrats.
It's so wild. It's so wild to me. No. Don't get me started on the spineless, cowardly Democrats. Don't get me started on their bullshit. Because, like, they thought that they were going to dress in pink and color coordinate, and that was some form of protest.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem with you. You call me Deb the Democrat because, like, you don't have a frame of reference for somebody like me. And so that's okay. I put up with that shit because
you were literally out there volunteering for the Democrats. Literally. Come on now. Shit.
I volunteer for the candidates that I think do best. I volunteered for Ken Blackwell once, too. He's a Republican. He was a Black Republican. You don't see. So I volunteer for the people that I think will do the best job.
Now let me ask you.
And that's the part you don't understand. See, you figure because you just can't understand somebody like me, Tariq. You have to put everything in these neat little categories. And when you can't do that, then you can't respond. You have nothing to say.
Debbie.
And I kind of feel sorry for you because honestly and truly.
Slow down, Debbie. You're just babbling. That meatloaf gave you a lot of carbohydrates and energy. Slow down. Now, Debbie, let me ask you something. Debbie, are you LGBT, Debbie? You're not muted, Debbie. Debbie, are you LGBT? Huh, Debbie? You're not muted.
No, sweetie, we had this discussion already. I'm a widow.
Okay.
My husband passed away.
Oh.
So no, I'm not.
Okay. Got. But are you a feminist?
Of course. I believe in the equality of women. I believe that if you go to Walmart and a man gets paid $10 an hour, a woman should get paid $10 an hour. If that makes me a feminist, sue me. I believe women should get paid for doing the same job as a man. That's literally how it started, was women automatically got paid less. If you're a school teacher and you're a 5th grade school teacher and you're a woman, you should get paid the same as a 5th grade male school teacher, as long as you have commensurate experience. Like if you're a first-year teacher, you might get paid a little bit less. But if you both have 3 years experience, yeah, you should get paid the same. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Nobody said that.
That is exactly what it means. And equal pay Equal pay is a big part of feminism. It means getting what
What
you're owed
a
for doing the same work.
company that's paying women less?
Literally every company until the Equal Rights Amendment. Literally every company. Black people used to get less for welfare. Like if you went and got
What?
welfare, you go what they call relief back then.
Wait, how did you just shift to black people? What the hell? How did you just shift to black people? No, I didn't ask you. I know what our situation is.
But aren't we always talking about black people? Are not women
Hold,
black people?
hold on.
Are not women black
Are
people?
you
Women are not black
are
people?
you conflating?
I'm a woman and I'm black. No, it's not conflating, sweetie.
Let me slow you down. Are you conflating feminism with blackness? With the black struggle? The struggle of feminists with the struggle?
If you are black and you are a woman,
Oh, no, no, wait. Are you equating the struggle of feminists with the struggle of black people?
are you saying I shouldn't? Are you saying there is no intersectionality?
Mm,
Are you saying there's nothing at all that black women? Are you saying that
are
black women by
you saying
virtue deserve less?
the initial feminist movement were a bunch of white supremacists? That's what the feminist movement started. It was a bunch of white supremacists in that first wave and the second wave too.
Okay, well, where are we at now?
Though,
So you're saying black women? So you're saying black women deserve?
no, the feminist movement was a bunch of white supremacists. Susan B. Anthony was a white supremacist, anti black racist. Elizabeth Canton, anti black racist. These white women were helping black folks get lynched. They didn't like black people at all.
So Nikki Giovanni was wrong. Maya Angelou was wrong.
What do they have?
That's what you're telling me.
Do they?
They were feminists.
No, they weren't.
So you telling me Nikki Giovanni was not a feminist?
Oh,
Boy, you better go read a book. Anyway, I'm about to go to bed, Tariq. I ain't got time to argue with you all night. But anyway,
man.
Trump isn't. Here's the last thing I'm gonna say because I'm about to go to bed. I'm not gonna argue with you all night. But real talk, y'all. Trump.
You know you ain't about to go to bed. You about to finish eating that meatloaf. Debbie, stop playing. You about to pull up another spoon and fork and some more sauce and eat that damn meatloaf. You ain't going to bed. You up. You're going to be up to about 5, 6 in the morning eating that meatloaf, Debbie. Stop playing. But go ahead, dear. Debbie, go ahead.
No, real talk. Real talk. No, you're right. You right about one thing. I am gonna finish the meatloaf,
Yes,
but then I'm going to bed.
just be
But for real talk, Trump is a Nazi. Elon Musk is a Nazi. Your dude JD Vance is a white supremacist, racist Nazi.
I
Like that dude is not to be trusted
ain't
at all. Like just not. And all y'all out here, just if you don't take anything else away from that, Tariq may be some dumb, but he ain't plumb dumb. The reparations fight always needs to be fought, but these Nazis need to be fought out the White House too. They're there, they're here, and they don't. The 1930s, the 1940s, OG.
you up here hollering about being a feminist, and they were damn quote Nazis too.
They
The,
okay, but just
the white
you know what?
Nazis too. The feminist movement was a damn Nazi movement to a certain degree because it was all about white women getting a part of white supremacy. They wanted the spoils of war themselves. Come on now.
Right, but one of the things that we always have to do in this up ass country, Tariq, is hold white people to the best of their ideals. They only mean the good shit for themselves. That doesn't mean we have to say, you know
A
what? Ain't I a woman?
ain't never been for the white feminist movement didn't think about black women. Them women ain't never
Exactly. They didn't think about us. We had to
what
think about us.
holler about you a feminist for. What a feminist what? You were dealing with white supremacy.
I already explained what
Oh,
it means to.
okay, Lord, go Debbie, go back in there and finish that meatloaf. Lord, that weird mammy feminist logic is just all over the place. They can never really articulate it. It's just a bunch of talking points given to you by white women. Lord, them early white feminists, them white women were so damn racist, man. Them white women couldn't stand black women. They weren't looking for no women's rights. It was for white women's rights. There's a book called White Women's Rights y'all need to read. A white woman broke this down. Go get the book, White Women's Rights. That's what it was about. You ignorant ass up here talking about you a black feminist. Them white women hated your guts then and hate your damn guts now. Them white women who are feminists, what black women do they stomp for? Where are those white women groups for Breonna Taylor? Where were the white women groups for Sandra Bland? You understand? They don't never stand up for black women. Now, even now, none of them white feminist groups, they don't do shit for black women. And your big back ass up here talking about intersectionality? You don't believe in it? Yeah, they love a mammy. That's what the white feminine, they love a meatloaf eating mammy. That's what they love. And that's what Debbie provides. Mammyism. That's one thing them white feminists love, a big back plantation mammy. Because that's what they want. They want old slave days back. Oh, goodness gracious, Lord. Debbie be draining me, man. Lord, Lord, Lord. We got a lot of people in here. Let's get a couple of more calls. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Let's get a couple of more calls in here. Let's make them good, ladies and gentlemen. Raise those hands. Raise those hands, ladies and gentlemen, so we can chop it up. And y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not subscribed. That's Tariq Radio. A lot of people like that the broadcast I did talking about Clive Davis and Angie Stone, and when I was connecting those dots, a lot of people really, really like that episode. They really, really, really like that episode. They were like, "Oh shit, that shit is deep." Yeah, and hey, it could have got deeper, but I'm trying to be safe. I ain't trying to say too damn much because I could have went deeper. I could have went deeper, but there's some things I'm like, there's some elements I didn't even want to open up. I could have gotten to the Angela Bofield situation. That was another sister who was hot in the late 70s, early 80s, connected with Clive, and later died broke, penniless, where people like Melba Moore had to help her out. I could have went into um, people like Biggie. Biggie was on Arista when he died. Like, he was on Arista. That catalog goes back to Arista. I could open up some more can of worms. I could have talked about how Chaka Khan, there's interviews of Chaka Khan, who's one of the few people to kind of call Clive Davis out publicly about the Whitney Houston thing. When Whitney Houston died, they still had a party, and Chaka Khan didn't like that. She was like, "Why y'all partying?" And Whitney Houston upstairs dead. Chaka Khan called Clive out on that. Go look that up. It's deep. It's deep. Oh, it's deep. It's some of this shit is deep. Some of these coincidences. Um, uh, I could have went. I didn't even get into the Jive record thing because Jive and Arista, they were connected big time in the 80s. Jive Records and Arista. I think Arista was distributing Jive, something like that. And then Jive got absorbed into RCA, and then Clive Davis became like the CEO or one of the chief officers of RCA Records. So he was kind of over the Jive record catalog as well. Who else was on Jive? R. Kelly. What happened to R. Kelly? Who else was on Jive? Just questions. Just I'm just throwing questions out there. Who else was on Jive? Aaliyah. Mm-mm. Mm. Aaliyah was on Jive. A lot of folks don't remember how hot Aaliyah was. Aaliyah had like, you know, back to back double platinum albums. Around 2000, Aaliyah was the queen of, she was the R&B princess. Nobody was touching Aaliyah. Aaliyah was on top. The 2000, nobody in the female R&B, nobody was touching Aaliyah at that time. Destiny's Child, they were out, but that was a group. They weren't big, big, big. Like, Beyonce wasn't a thing yet. The one who was on top of the food chain was Aaliyah, year 2000. And she's doing movies, hot as fish grease. She was the R&B princess. Nobody was touching her. And in 2001, she died in that accident, that plane crash. And guess who took her spot? Right after she died, who took her spot? Who blew up when Aaliyah died? Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys sold like 7 million albums when she came out, right after Aaliyah died. Who signed Alicia Keys? Ah, um, yeah, I'm gonna let all that go. But yeah, like I said, it gets deep. It gets deep. It's a lot of coincidences there. I just leave it at that. I ain't gonna go too much deeper, but it's deep. It gets heavy when you start really connecting those dots. It's deep. it's it's real deep. Let me get Tamara, Miss Tamara in here. Miss Tamara, hop in, beloved. Tamara, hop in, beloved. I can hear you, dear. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What up, fam? What up, room? Um, Man, this is such a good conversation you guys are having tonight, and I just wanted to piggyback off the last speaker, Debbie. Um, what she was talking about in terms of feminism and her splicing between the Democrats and Republicans and Democratic leaders and Republican leaders. I really think that it demonstrates what the conversation was earlier on tonight about independent thinking. Feminism is the opposite of independent thinking. It's, well, every woman has to think like this. Every woman has to feel like this. Every woman has to be down for this idea. And if, as we can see in today's climate, feminism has women championing men in women's sports. How is that a protection for women? So feminism, like many of the ideas that Democrats push, are the opposite of independent thinking. Independent thinking would have had Congress members on the Democratic side standing and applauding a young Black boy who just wants to be a police officer who has brain cancer. Why aren't you clapping and standing on your feet for this young Black boy who just wants to be a police officer? And I think that this lack of independent thinking is a stigma, it's a symptom rather of um, this inability to break code. It comes from shaming, and it comes from, what do they call it, like mob thinking or group thinking, where everyone has to move as a group, and we think that that's going to be the best solution for everyone. When the truth of the matter is, independent thinking, being able to decipher between, okay, this person, I'm disagree with some of the things they say, but here are some things that I agree with them on. Having that balance in life is necessary because that's what actually moves progress. If we're all thinking alike, there's no progress. And that's all that you see on the Democratic side. No progress. They scream progress, but there's no progress. There's no progress. And I'll just land on this. One thing that really pissed me off about tonight was the fact that Trump could not have a Black face on the face of people who are killed by illegal immigrants. If we remember, take our brains back to 2016, his number one ad was about Josh Shaw, young Black, beautiful boy, football player who was murdered in the streets of LA at 17 years old by a Mexican gang. That Mexican gang's whole entire ideology was about murdering Black Americans. They hate Black Americans. And that's what they were there to do, to murder Black Americans. And Trump took this father of this slain boy, Jamal Shaw, and he put him in his ads. And no Black person said anything in the media, and no Black person said anything in the voting system, and no one ever talks about him ever again. And Trump also highlighted that innocent, beautiful, young, well, he wasn't young, he was 72 years old, but young at heart, Black man in Georgia who was chopped up and put into a bag under the bed of and under the bed that he shared with his wife for over 50 years by an illegal immigrant. None of these Black people were made the face of the harms of illegal immigration, even though Black people are the number one faces of the harms of illegal immigration. And they did that.
There you go. I gotta land your plane, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do want to get a couple of more calls in here before we roll out. And also, my brother Terrain just pointed out something too. You know who else was on the Jive record, on Jive under that umbrella, who died, who was speaking out against a lot of funny style stuff in the industry? You know who else? Pimp C. Mm, you see? Well, these coincidences are crazy, huh? The Pimp C was real big on calling out a lot of funny style stuff. He was calling that shit out major. He was on Jive, remember. They were on Jive. All right. So these coincidences are real weird, huh? It's real weird. Grinds. Let's get my brother Grinds in the building. Grinds, hop on in, brother. Grinds TV, hop on in.
What's up, brother Tariq? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm glad that you hitting on this stuff. And I was a part of that space that where they was messing with him when you was really, digging into this situation. One of the things that I wanted to add about the Whitney situation. Remember when that movie came out? Now, well, first of all, you got somebody that's non-Black American playing, our beloved sister.
Yeah.
But then the thing that I noticed, and I was aggravated the whole time. The whole time they had Clive being played as like a white savior God complex throughout the whole movie, and I'm like, good and damn well he got a whole bunch of shit on him.
Yeah.
Even when people was talking about Diddy, I'm like, listen, who did Diddy get the game from? Like who put him on? Like, he's not like the face of the weird stuff. Who put him on? And that would be Clive. But
Yeah.
also, I wanted to add something, Milan, with this. Nobody Black American or anybody melanated at all, but of course, since we're talking Black American business, none of us should be caping for Zelensky or anything like that that's going on over there. Because one of the things that I've been sharing over time, but especially recently, is a picture of him throwing up the white power symbol. And that really is very telltale of what type of person or what type of business that he's
Oh,
on. And when people talk about Nazism and neo-Nazism, it's a whole lot of this stuff going on. And if it wasn't, there wouldn't be all kind of receipts of when the invasion happened a few years ago. All those melanated immigrants being kicked off of buses and trains over
oh
there.
yeah.
Also, there was articles coming up saying that if you were black and you want to participate in the Peace Corps over there, you're at risk of being called a monkey. And it's all kind of receipts and video and stuff like that. I can't find this, but 4 years ago, people were sending me videos of those people over there, pretty much like what we would consider alt-right over there. A lot of those leaders over there that are a part of these hate groups that people swear that they're not a part of, but a lot of the talking points would be linked to a lot of what we would call alt-right talking points over here. Even like, and it kind of baffled me because as much as they would try to get behind these people and say Ukraine, 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 and especially LGBT, and like notice that the Democrats are supposed to be pro LGBT over here, but they're not. If you know, you know. But a lot of those people over there were mimicking LGBT, so they were very much anti-LGBT over there. So should nobody black or anybody like that should be caping for them people over there. I'm a land.
My man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Grinds. Yes, indeed. All right. Anyway, let me gonna roll it up out of here, man. We're gonna shut it on down. Y'all go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Your contributions are very much needed. Also, go to rootworkstyle.com to get the best deodorant in the world. Rootwork deodorant, rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm up out of here. Papi Akute, Lalavure to the family. Peace.